just a bloke in a bar.
Now we've got the great Buddy Vautin here. How you going, mate? And also, heading into the season, I mean, you've done 1,000 seasons. How excited are you heading into this season?
I'm pretty excited, actually, because now we've got 4 teams up here in Queensland, and it's going to be interesting to see how they go. I think North Queensland can nearly win it this year. 100%. They got dudded last year with that forward pass against Parra. They could have been in the grand final. Now, look, they mightn't have won because Penrith are such a strong team, but, you know, there's a few chinks with Penrith now, and funnily enough, watching Penrith play St Helens the other night, St Helens really worked out how to get in their faces. Yeah. And they cut down their time with the ball, and they nullified a lot of their attacks. I reckon some of the Australian coaches would have seen that, and they'll be on top of it, yeah.
Now, you're from the old school era. I want to know who currently is playing, a young fella, that you would love to have a beer with and would fit in the old school era.
Corey Horsburgh.
It's not the red connection.
It's not my son, but he looks like a goer, and he's actually not a bad player, and he just thinks he's old school. You know, he just takes it up and does his job, and gets down and dirty. Okay. I like him.
Now, out of all the years you've been watching footy, who do you reckon takes the cake as the biggest pest on the field?
Well, it was Benny Elias, and he's still the king. I reckon even the Balmain players hated Benny. Everyone else did. But you know what? He was a pest, and he'd be in your ear, and he used to chew Mario Fenix's ear off, and Mario would try and king hit him every 3 seconds, you know. But no, he was a pest. But it's actually a really charming, nice fella, Benny.
It's funny how a lot of the pests are actually good blokes off the field.
Isn't it? Yeah. That's some of the guys you played against, like I'm talking 45 years ago, who you couldn't stand, and you thought, he's this and he's that. They're actually lovely guys, and that's probably they think the same about us and whoever, you know, Manly players and whatever. So, you know, we're all in the same game. We're all doing our best, and that's all that matters.
Yep. Now, this year, Dally M. Who is your prediction to win the Dally M, and then also to win the comp?
Dally M's an interesting one. It's hard to go past Nathan Cleary, right? But his team, I don't think, is going to be as strong as last year. They've lost quite 2 or 3 really strong and influential players. It won't stop him, but I'm going to say Nathan Cleary, and I think I'm going to go for North Queensland to win the comp.
North Queensland?
I am. I really think they've got it in them. They're a great side. Todd Payton's, I see he's re-signed again for another couple of years, which is good. He seems to get it. It was funny, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, he had a decision to make. Now, either the players were off him and not listening to him, right, or the other way, that he wasn't taking notice of the players. But they seem to have come to a deal, and he's now coaching them well, and they're playing for him. So it's good.
It's a really good point. He really was at a crossroads. Like, do I double down? Right. Do I meet somewhere in the middle, or go? Okay, I think Cowboys are definitely a chance. Now, what are your thoughts on the haircuts of today?
Mate, some of it are just disgusting. I mean, Big Tino, mate, champ. Any chance of one of these ones? Like, honestly, he's a good-looking dude.
He's a great sort.
But, mate, the hair, I just don't get it. And some of the buzz cuts and, like, back in the day when it was just everyone had the same haircut, right? It was, you had the mullets back in the early 80s, and then we all, twigged that mullets were no good, and we all had haircuts by the late 80s, but they're just different these days. They're weird.
And last question around Origin. Watching Billy Slater go in and coach his first game, I don't think it gets enough attention. I really don't. First game of footy pretty much, and then to win an Origin series in a pressure cooker like that. What was that like as a proud Queenslander to see something like that?
Oh, look, I love Origin. It's the best part of the year. It's certainly the greatest and hardest football that I played. And I felt so proud to play as a Queenslander and to coach them. And Billy's the same. Billy, a 30-game veteran. And, it's funny, I played golf with he and Cameron Smith about 15, 16 months ago. And I said to both of them, I said, now listen, because I hadn't picked a Queensland coach, right? I said, if you get offered the job, no, we won't take it, right? I said, listen, don't be idiots. If you get offered that job, you make sure you take it. It's the greatest thing you'll ever do sports-wise in your life. Wow. So I eventually got offered the job, and they took it, and, the rest is history. And he's to talk rugby league with Billy now and to Cameron, they're a lot smarter than I am. And I don't know what they're talking about half the time, but they're really good. They know what they're doing.
So we've got the great Gus Gould here, mate. First of all, we've watched a million seasons. What's the feeling for you with a new club coming in this year, a new NRL season pretty much 7 days away?
Yeah, it's an interesting one because we've had COVID-affected years for a couple of years, and I think people are just coming out of that. Because of that, we haven't had a lot of younger players really emerging and making their mark in the NRL, but I think this year could be very, very different. I think we could see that some of the young fellas starting to find their feet in the top grade, and I think that's exciting.
Now, the NRL, watching Penrith on the weekend, I had them as my favourites before the weekend. I still think they're absolutely a title threat, but who would you have right now if you had to pick your winner for the season? Who would it be?
Said on the podcast this week, I think the winner's really well hidden. I think the teams that sort of came up last year, Sharks and Cowboys, who had great seasons and probably fell a little bit at the back end of the season, will gain a lot of experience out of that. I think they're real chances. Parramatta's still there. They've got a good side. South Sydney, they've been around the finals every year for the last 5 or 6 years. They're a chance. If the Panthers do come back to the field a little bit, there's plenty there ready to take their place. I think it could be really competitive. Injuries will play a part, and it's a long season, as you know. So.
Now, obviously you came through, you've seen many a generation. Which young player now would you love to have a beer with and you think would fit any generation of rugby league?
Oh, wow. Any generation of rugby league. Brandon Smith probably should have played in the 80s with us, so he'd have fitted that decade. Nico Hines. I'd like to, Nico. Every time I see Nico, he looks like the beach is closed and he's just wandered in looking for a game. So I think he'd be an interesting kid to get to know.
Now, predictions for Dally M. What's your... You don't have to say one, you can say 2 or 3. What's your predictions?
I really don't know. Nico Hines is an obvious one for me because I think the Sharks will do really well and he's going to be a main player in that side, and number 7s generally get a lot of the points, So, Nico Hines for me would be an early favourite.
Also, you've seen many a haircut in your time. What are your thoughts on the haircut of today's player?
Looks like they've walked out halfway through it. I don't know. Either that or the council's done it.
Now, finally, Origin chat. It's never too late for it. Never too early, sorry, for Origin chat. What do you see the challenges that New South Wales face this year after obviously Billy Slater, young coach, comes in, he gets another year on his belt. You would assume Queensland will be better this year. What are the challenges you feel New South Wales face this year?
All of those things you just mentioned, Queensland gained confidence out of what they did last season. It's a continuum. It goes on every year. There's always different rises and falls. We'll see some young fellas emerge this year into the Origin for the first time, I'm sure. Taking Queensland on is you've got to take Queensland on. You've got to know what you're up against and what they bring, and we saw that in Game 3 last year. They were just too strong for New South Wales, so it's up to the Blues to answer that.
Hey, Bill. Now, you may not know this, mate, but I was actually, Cam told me this, I was the assistant coach unofficially to Queensland this year.
I did hear that.
Did you hear that?
Yes, I did. I do listen to the captain's run. Yeah, Cam actually sends it to me every week and makes me listen to it and says this is all the good information of the week. So, good show, mate.
Yeah, mate. Is the grey a tactical? Is that tactical placement or is that natural? Because you're looking distinguished, bro.
Yeah. It's. I don't know if it's tactical. It's very, very natural. Like I have no choice about it, and I'm not in a position to go and dye it. So, that's just is what it is, mate.
Yep. Now, mate, what are your thoughts? You come through an era where the haircuts weren't as rank as they are now. Now, I love a rank haircut, but what are your thoughts on today's players' haircuts?
No, I don't mind it. Like I like the transition in styles. The mullet's back. Tino's looking like Tuera Nikau, and maybe bring back the shoulder pads too. That'd be pretty cool. I think Craig Bellamy's still got a pair in his in his cupboard, so he might be able to lend them to someone.
Now, mate, how's it been for you? Obviously, you coached Origin this year, and incredible achievement what you did. Incredible achievement. But now the dust has settled and you're heading into a new year. What's the kind of feeling for you personally?
To start with, I'm really looking forward to the season. When you don't have a pre-season, and this Kempy, that it's a long off-season. It's about 5.5 months off-season. So I'm looking forward to watching some footy. The trials have been great, and come the middle of the year, obviously Origin comes around, and For me, that's when it all really ramps up in terms of coaching. We don't get a whole heap of access to the players up until then, but we can certainly keep those communication lines and just reconnect and just keep monitoring our players. It's a really exciting time of the year for both states, and looking forward to the series again.
Now, predictions. Who do you pick to win the comp? And Dally M prediction. It's really hard, and I'd like to think that I analyse the game and I watch a lot of footy, but I've got no idea. There's a number of teams. Half the competition could realistically win the competition. Everyone should be thinking they can win the competition, but look, I think the Roosters and the Cowboys are teams that can really take it to another level. You expect the heavyweights of the competition in Penrith, the Roosters, Melbourne, Parramatta, all those teams that have been there, South, they're going to be there when the whips are cracking again. But some of the lower teams in that top 8, even teams like Manly, I think if they have all their quality players on the field for a long period of time, they can really do something. So it's really hard to sort of pick one, but if I had to, I'd probably say the Roosters or Cowboys would be the ones that jump out of the pack. Now, what's it like? So when you're in a squad, pests can be good because they bring the energy up. But when you're trying to be a coach, trying to get stuff done, what's it like? What's the difference?
You talking about Cameron Munster here?
Yes, I am.
Don't worry, Cameron Smith's got a bit of pest about him as well.
Oh, well, exclusive. That's a scoop.
He's got a bit of pest in him. I don't know, like footy, you're around, when you're in a footy environment, you're around people, like the same people all the time, and having life in your club is really good. The Fox he's got a lot of energy about him. He's one guy that is really infectious within your organisation, and Cameron Munster's another one. You need a bit of life in your footy club, and those sort of people and those characters bring that.
Now, I actually, when I was playing for the Warriors, Billy tried to fight me. And honestly, I didn't know whether we were sweet.
You must have...
No, all legal, mate.
You ran past me, I couldn't catch you.
No, all legal, mate. So we're all good, bro?
We're good. I don't even remember. Hey?
I don't even remember.
I don't remember playing you.
That hurts. That hurts, bro.
I remember you try, you scored off that kick-off Lockie. That's what I do remember.
Now, last but not least, the Melbourne Storm, obviously very true to your heart. They're in a really interesting position right now because, as you know, you had yourself, Smithy, Cronk. There's a change in leadership. How do you feel they're going to handle that, I guess, this year and next year?
Yeah, I think when everyone looks at the Melbourne Storm and they see players lost, they've always looked at the stars and the Greg Inglis's and Cooper Cronks, Cameron Smiths, and some of the Israel Flowers, the big names that have left. Whereas this year it's been a little bit different. It's been the workers, Felice Kafusi, Brandon Smith, the Bromwich brothers, and that's a different loss. They've still got all their key position players, and a lot of clubs in the competition would love to have the 4 key position players that Melbourne have. But the challenge for Craig Bellamy is probably what his greatest strength is getting people to come to the club and perform a role, like Tarek Sims and Eli Katoa is one that has had a really good off-season, and I think he's going to have a really good season. So there's opportunity at Melbourne, and when there's opportunity at Melbourne playing in and amongst really good players, you see players rise. And I don't know, like people have written off Melbourne for 20 years, and I think they'll still have a good season. Christian Walsh comes back from injury, he only played one game last year. He's a huge return, and when Ryan Pappenhausen gets fit, and whenever that is, he's going to add another string to their bow. So I like Melbourne.
Mate, try having a podcast. I want to say they might struggle this year, but I know you will prove me wrong, and then I'll be embarrassed. So I'm always but
careful.
So I'm here with 2 of the best players in the NRL, wearing the best colours in the NRL. But firstly, how's what do you reckon about your coach?
He's good. I reckon he's best ever to coach, and as long as he still puts me at 9 round 1. But no, he's great. Hopefully, starting for another 20 years, and I can keep playing for the Broncos for 20 years.
And mate, on the weekend you had a bit of an accident. I mean, I know you hurt your pretty little face, and it's looking pretty as anything, bro. But how's the on the try line there? You got hit in the. How's that go? You sweet or what?
Yeah, I'm all right. Look, the boys were a bit off me for not getting up, but you know.
Lie down and make the try?
Yeah, that's exactly the time I'm talking about.
Yeah, they're good. They're all they're working pretty good. So
Oh, are they?
Yeah, they are.
Now, boys, how is, in all seriousness, how has the pre-season been? Obviously, we're as a club, I say we like I'm fucking training with you today, but like we're in this weird situation where we've got a team that can beat the best of the best, but at the same time, at the end of last year, we struggled a bit. What's the vibe been like at pre-season training this year?
It's been really good. I think everyone's really confident. We're focusing on what we did up until round 18 or round 19 or whatever it was, and we've shown that we can match it with the best of them. We just got another year under our belt now that we can try and hold that for the whole year. We had a lot of young boys last year that would have learned a lot, and hopefully, we can finish it off this year.
Speaking of learning a lot today, they ever bring me up, be like, "Oi, this is what Den and Kemp used to do."
All the time. When we got back five meetings, those tries you scored, especially those clips against Para, mate, gets brought up all the time. Kevy was showing Cobbs how to score tries like you, so.
So it was like Stuff Wendell, Lottie, like the beak.
Nah, we want you back in, mate. We got Dubs there. We got a few other old boys coming in. We want you coming back in.
Oh, how good. And Reece, obviously you were at the Warriors. You actually played well at the Warriors. I played fucking terribly at the Warriors. How's it been coming back? Like me personally, when I came back to Brisbane, it was like I love New Zealand. I love the experience, but it's almost like a relief. It felt home. What's it been like for yourself?
Oh, exactly the same, mate. Coming back in, I grew up obviously supporting Bronx and knowing a lot of the boys before I left, and when I came back, like you said, a bit of a relief, and to be back home, and I felt a lot more comfortable, and I settled in. I really just got the mindset that I wanted to work hard and try and do my best. So having my family just down the road, down the Goldie, helped a lot too. So I've been loving being back, and it's been enjoyable, mate.
Now, biggest pest in the team, just spill the dirt, boys, because I know there's a few pests in that side, and I've been hearing whispers about some key pests. Biggest pests in the side.
Gary and Reno. Oh.
Yeah. Our captain is probably the biggest pest in the whole team and probably the whole NRL. So, and then when you get Gary or when you get Corey Oates and Reynolds together, it's a nightmare.
Oatesy came in as a little quiet mouse. Now he's a pest.
Right, he's just a quiet mouse.
As a little quiet mouse.
Oh, all he does is talk, man. You just zip it, mate.
He plays on the left wing, and our right winger can hear him through the whole game, through whole training, every time. He's just that loud and annoying.
All right, boys. Now, going into the season, is there a plan in regards to how many wins you want for the first half of the year, or is it more focused on game by game?
Well, we want to win every game, so we'll take it game by game. We've got a good test against Penrith. They've been the best team the last 2 years, so we've got to play Penrith at Penrith, which is going to be a test of how hard we've worked this pre-season and how much of our talk we can put into action. So it's going to be a good test.
Sweet. And worst haircut in the squad? Holy!
I've only got a couple of haircuts left, so I can't get too many wrong.
Now I'm here with, honestly, it might be the most likeable man in rugby league. Might be the most likeable man in rugby league. James Bracey, how you going, brother?
I was about to say the same about you, Kevin. Mate, I'm really good, really good.
Now, this year, who is your prediction to win the comp?
Yeah, look, Penrith's are going to come back to the pack. Look, I'm just the guy that I ask the questions usually, but you've asked my opinion, so I'm going to throw it out there. I'm pre-season thinking Roosters, but I've been second guessing that the last couple of days. Okay. So without sitting on the fence, I'm going to go Cronulla.
Okay. Now I want to give you my condolences because I've heard whispers, and this is honestly broke
a gig.
Mate. This broke my heart that I heard it. You're a North Sydney Bears fan.
I am. Don't need any condolences, mate. I'm proud and I'm loud about being a Bear man. Of course, mate. I'm like die hard. And everyone. That's one question I get a lot is who do you actually support? Because people want to know who I'm secretly barracking for in our coverage. Yep. But I haven't. You can't just go and jump on a bandwagon with another team. Like we're here at the 9 launch in Queensland. I could jump on the Dolphins, brand new, coming into the competition, but I'm not. I'm sticking true to my Bears.
Now, are you the bloke that's planning the story once a year, saying North Sydney are coming back into the comp?
Mate, give you some credit. I reckon we're planning about 6 to 8 stories a year. But the drums are always beating. Some great people doing some great things. The Bears will be back. It's just a matter of time. There's a spot to be taken. It's a 17-team comp. It doesn't add up.
I can see it happening, bro.
Yeah, why not? And look, it doesn't have to be the North Sydney Bears. I get that. Yeah. I get that no one wants another team in Sydney. I understand that argument. There's plenty of other locations that could do with some help, a bit of heritage. 1908 bloody Foundation Club, people. Jump on board the Red and Black Bear. I'll be there.
Now, mate, Dally M prediction.
Oh, jeez. Can Nico go back-to-back? I mean, I have to go that if the Sharks are winning the comp, I'll go Nico back-to-back. Has there been a back-to-back? JT would have done it. Joey probably.
Surely JT did it.
Joey or JT for sure.
Now, what's your thoughts on, you watch a lot of footy, but as you said, you like to just step back and not have an opinion, rather you like to just ask questions. But I need to know your opinion on who do you reckon the biggest pest in the game is?
Ooh, mate, there's a few. I've got about 4 of them I've got to work with on a daily basis, mate. Actually, more than 4. Mate, I like the pests, like the cheeses. Mate, characters like the cheese, we need. Like I would love to have him as a teammate. Jimmy Maloney, he's got to be, mate, he'd be number 1 for sure. But, mate, I think, like, Brandon Smith, I can't believe he's a Rooster. You've seen him in the colours. It looks weird. Mate, it's, like, really jarring. It's like, I'm not going to be able to get used to that for a while. He'd have to be number 1, wouldn't he?
See, he's like, I would go pest more a Cody Walker pest. That's my I love Brandon Smith, but I see him more as a lovable larrikin. Whereas I want some real grumpy, pest, angry guy that also has a bit of love in him.
Yeah, Luai. I mean, he's a classic pest these days, and they sort of thrive on it. Like Cody, I think is when he's angry. That's when he's at his best, and it's good TV.
It's great TV.
It's what we want.
I actually reckon prediction for Dally M Pest of the Year this year is Ronaldo Mulatalo.
Mate, I love Ronaldo.
How good is it?
Yeah.
He's been a pest in a trial match.
Yeah. And, mate, he's just such a lovely bloke. Got a big heart.
Yeah.
Mate, I'm with you. Pest is best when it comes to Ronaldo. But, mate, he's a champ. See, another Shark. See, I've got a good vibe about the Sharks this year, actually.
So you are jumping ship then?
Yeah. It's all about the Sharks.
And lastly, I need to know, who's the best analyst on the team?
Oh, mate. Beep, beep, beep. Mate, I'm lucky because I've got all the best.
Oh, yeah.
See, that's my main skill, is sitting on the fence and letting other people answer the hard questions. But honestly, when everyone says it's like trying to choose your favourite child. But when I'm sitting there on Origin night and I look to the Maroon side, and I've got Cameron Smith, Billy Slater, Jonathan Thurston, Fat, Lockie, the list goes on. And then I look to my right and it's Joey and it's Freddie and it's Gus and it's Sterlo and, mate, honest.
Now, I think I might know the answer to this question. So, who's the grumpiest when you go over time?
Oh, my producer in my year, because they're all worried about ad breaks, and if I go over time, I get... Look, to be honest, if it's a Thursday night and I'm talking at 10:30, Joey's giving me... Actually, Joey just switches off. So it's almost like he can't answer questions beyond 10:15 at night.
His contract says 10:15.
Yeah, so I'll go, and Andrew, I'll just back out of the question because he's immediately doing these ones. And that's all I get.
Funnily enough, that's who I thought it would be.
Yeah, Joey. He lives in a different world now. He's early to bed, early to rise. Okay. It's not like the old...
He's a new man.
New man, and all the better for it as well.
Here she is, massive turncoat, left Broncos in an absolute rubble. Are you here to apologise or just don't care?
I am. I'm deeply sorry. Brisbane is a great club, and long live the Broncos.
Oh, Millie Boyle, how you been? Obviously at Newcastle now?
Yes.
How's it obviously been? You guys will start next few months, hopefully?
Yes, hopefully. There's still a few things getting sorted, but it's looking good for everyone playing women's footy at the moment. 4 more teams, very exciting. Cowboys, Raiders coming into the comp as well, so it's exciting year ahead.
And what's with the news of that you may actually guys get like a salary cap or close to a salary cap? How exciting is that, especially with you been working so hard for so many years? Is that something that the women have openly spoken about, and I guess there's some buzz around the game? Yeah,
definitely. One of the really cool things is that they're looking to do multi-year contracts. So previously we've only kind of had that contract over the period of NRLW. So to have that continuity to build teams around is really exciting, and that's what they'll be implementing this year in 2023.
Now, speaking of money and excitement, is there a person in the squad that no one could pay you as much? Like, you are dreading seeing that person, like biggest pest in the squad.
Oh, look, that's a really tough one. I don't know. Maybe
there's so many.
No, everyone's so kind and nice. And
oh, shut! No way.
Probably Keely Davis. Yeah.
Massive pest.
Yeah. In small doses, no, she's great.
And for yourself personally, like, what's the goal this year for you?
For me, it's just to have a really good season, stay really fit, and stay fit and improve my footy and play with a really good bunch of girls around me as well. So, yeah, just improving on all of those things. It's longer seasons as well, so really improving your performances from each round.
Now, picking the player of the year for the women's game, and you can't say yourself, like, you're about to say yourself, me, whatever, we get it, you're good at footy. And also, what's your pick for Dally M men's NRL player of the year?
Right. Adam Elliott, men's player.
Oh my God, you make me sick. You make me sick.
No, I had to say that. No. Look, for the girls, I think Tamika Upton, she's just an absolute star player, and she has missed a couple of rounds each year, which has kind of taken her out of contention, but always been up there every time that she's played. And for the guys, I reckon maybe like a Tedesco, or just a solid team, good performance. Yeah, good performer. Okay. Yeah.
And also prediction to, obviously you're going to say the Newey Knights for the women's game, but prediction in the men's game to win the comp.
I reckon. Oh God, I really probably should have thought about this. Newcastle Knights.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Why not?
They'll definitely win.
Why not?
I don't see any reason why not.
Well, you're saying the Broncos, so.
Oh, how dare you? How dare you? Oh, anyway. Okay. Also, the women's game, do you guys have anything in regards to international games planned next year?
I think there's some plan, not that I've heard of. Just a start date for NRLW would be good, a good start. So, not too sure.
Baby steps.
Baby steps. I have heard there's games. We are having 2 Origins, which is cool. So, 2 very strange. Yeah, it goes off whoever won the year before. So it's like if it's a draw, it'll go off whoever won last year.
They should do a wrestle off.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the game, have a wrestle off. Whoever wins a wrestle, boom.
I agree. Why can't we do that? Maybe we can. Sponsored by Bloke In A Bar, mate.
Yeah, sponsored by Bloke. I need to know who the biggest pest is at the Titans.
Not allowed to say myself. I don't. So I'll probably go probably AJ or Phil.
AJ.
They gang up on the boys, so probably one of those sneakies.
I'm hearing whispers that AJ Brimson's arguably the most arrogant player in the NRL.
Yeah, no, that's definitely up there. Yeah, doesn't do any con or. Yeah, just
That's outrageous, bro.
Yeah.
How's AJ Brimson not doing con?
You tell me about it. He's what, 2-3 younger, I think he's 2 years younger than me, and he's sitting there watching me do con, and then just hops in fresh. So that's AJ for him.
Mate, so how's the body feeling? Heading into round 1, good to go?
I'm feeling all right. I'm suspended for 2 more weeks, so got a week off with the All Stars, but the boys are all keen and ready to go, and I'm feeling pretty fresh. So,
what's the mindset heading into this year for you? Like, obviously Titans tough year last year. Is there a real belief that if you sort the defence out, you can make the 8?
Yeah, well, that's been our main focus this pre-season. So, we've done a lot more just defence over attack over the whole two parts of pre-season. So looking forward to it, especially having 4 in there on the edge and then Semi-Verrill in the middle. So it's a good little mix, and then Randy off the bench. So it's looking exciting.
I'm here with the great Sammy Thaiday, mate. How you feeling heading into a new season of media, but also a new club in Brisbane? How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm a little bit torn, to be honest. I can remember playing against Redcliffe back in the day when I donned the Clydesdale jersey, and saying that Clydesdale's back in the competition too, which is absolutely brilliant. But I think it's going to divide Brisbane a little bit. Darren Lockyer.
That's Darren Lockyer.
That's another assist from Darren Lockyer to Devon Kemp for a try.
D-Lock. Honestly, I felt the connection just then.
I know. I felt a spark. Like you shook hands behind my butt. And it was like, that was exciting. Yeah.
Now, prediction, who do you think is going to win the comp?
Oh, I think it's going to be hard, mate, for the Penrith Panthers to go the tree-peat. I think I'm going to call it the tree-peat. I think it could be a Sharks, a Cowboys maybe. I'm really excited to see how both those two teams go. I know the Sharks will be pretty good this year. Nico Hines is playing some brilliant footy already. I thought he was great in the Indigenous All-Stars team. And the Cowboys will definitely grow another leg from last year.
Now, have you pitched to Channel 9? And I know no one knows about this except the boys that are in the room. Arnie Ray?
Oh, wow. Arnie Ray's a late night type of show, yeah. Maybe subscription only, I think, because, yeah, she was intense. And I'm just letting you know, if Arnie Ray did come out, she would have to double check with Wayne that it was okay first, because that was Wayne's unofficial girlfriend back in the day.
Honestly, anytime that came on in team meetings, the boys, the rest of the week we were flying.
Yeah, 100%. And we needed Arnie Ray to kind of lighten the mood a bit. Wayne was a very intense coach, Arnie Ray just bring it down to that next level, and it was good. I think that was the best thing about our club, is we've always had characters in our club that have kind of lightened the mood, there's a lot at the Broncos now. I get to do some work with them, and it's good that I don't have to go in and be the clown anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so much energy. And just lastly, Dally M pick.
Oh, I'm gonna just throw a curveball out there. I don't think a 6 or 7 will win it this year. I'm gonna say it'll be a fullback, a 9. I'm gonna say maybe a Latrell. This is my 3, Latrell. I'm gonna say if the Storm are gonna go well this year, that'd be off the back of Harry Grant. And I don't know, maybe like a Jason Tamalolo.
I'm going a smoky Scotty Drinkwater.
Oh, are you thirsty? So drink some water.
Thanks, brother. Thanks so much, man. Appreciate it. Good to see you, brother. Really good to see you.